Okay, I think we can begin. Hello, good evening, good morning, good day, guten Abend, guten Morgen, moin, privet, what else? Buenos dias, bon dia, bon dia. I forgot how this is in Portuguese, but something like that. I'm Paweł Spechalski. This is the FPV live stream, and for the next hour or so, maybe even slightly longer, I will try to entertain you. I will be just like the Robin Williams. Who was singing "Let Me Entertain You" before Robin Williams? Robbie Williams? I forgot. Anyhow, this is not really important, but this is what I will be more or less doing. Quick audio check. How's audio? Everything good? Everything great over there? No problems. I see that video is fantastic. But I cannot really hear myself. Well, I can hear myself. I can make to hear myself with those earbuds, but then with the delay introduced by the Bluetooth, it's like half a second delay, and like, nah. We don't do that over here because this makes absolutely no sense. So, it was a while since the last time we streamed. At least it was a while since the last time I streamed on the Saturday. Because there were a few streams on other days of the week, like for example the build stream when I was building, rebuilding, and doing different stuff and well, trying to catch up with my building. So the last time we streamed was on March 25th. On March 25th, when we released the INAV 6, and guess what? Today is the day that we're gonna release INAV 6.1. Actually, not the final, but we're gonna release the release candidate for the INAV 6.1. But before we will go to the topic of INAV 6.1 and why so early, can I speak a random Polish word? Rabarbar. Random Polish word. That was the random Polish word. Why so early? There are a few reasons. Let me set up the microphone slightly better. So why INAV 6.1? Why so early? More or less 1 month after we released INAV 6.0. And what's gonna change? Well, actually, not that much. At least for the majority of you, not that much gonna change, because 6.1 is the maintenance release. Even while preparing for the 6.0, we already knew that some of the features we don't want to push them into 6.0, so the next release, if this is not something that is breaking compatibility with the current setup, then this is absolutely not a problem. Plus, we have we users and developers identified a few issues with INAV, especially issues connected with the H7 microcontrollers and H7 flight controllers. Long story short, we overdid with the H7s. Actually, we overdid with the optimizations on the GCC compiler. And after switching all the code with the compilator optimization O2 fast, which means generate as fast of the code as possible, it turned out that there are some, let's say, problems. So one of those problems was that every time you save the INAV configuration into the EPROM, the serial receiver was stopping working. Just no longer was getting any data from the RX, and even the failsafe was not really triggered, just like it was freezing. And it turned out that this is because the H7 was too fast. No, not the H7 was too fast, but because of the improved optimization on the compiler level. So the change under the hood that probably no one of you will ever notice, but yes, it's still there, is that we basically got rid of all the custom optimizations. There were some routines on the INAV were optimized for speed. Some of the routines were optimized for size. Now on the F722s, everything is optimized for size. So that for F722 and actually for the F411s, everything is just optimized for size so that we can squeeze as much of the functions, as many of the functions we can get into those MCUs. And on everything else, it's just optimize -02, which is a standard optimization, which is still compliant with the GCC and like no fancy stuff, no super fancy stuff that the compiler is trying to do to get us, to create as fast of the hex as possible. Probably this is unnoticeable in flight. No, not probably. This is unnoticeable in flight. However, some of the operations will take longer in the background. But like I said, you will not notice that anything changed. So that's that. There is also a question, should you update from the 6.0 to 6.1? It depends. If you do not want to have any of the features that we will be rolling out, because there will be a few new features together with 6.0, and you are not using H7 flight controllers, then you don't really have to. However, we would like you to do it, because this kind of makes sense, but this is not required, and potential problems were actually solved only on the H7 and F722s and F411s. If you have F745 and F405 or F765, then most probably nothing changes. So that's just a small update here and there, plus a few interesting updates also for the software in the loop, for the simulators. Now, if you would want to use the X-Plane simulator with INAV, you will not have to connect the INAV flight controller to your PC, because you will be able to run INAV on your PC. And then X-Plane will be able to use INAV running on your PC as the input for the flight mechanics, so in the X-Plane flight simulator. So kind of nice stuff here and there. High boost FPV, hello. But like I said, this is nothing like super important, super fancy, so it's really up to you. We suggest that you do update, but it's not really required unless you use the H7s. If you are using H7, then yes, please do update, because this really absolutely makes sense. And that's that. Let me open the window slightly, because it's getting like toasty over here. Okay, that's much better. So, anything interesting happened in the last month since we streamed for the last time? Any interesting things in the FPV world? I saw that DJI released the new goggles, Integra, whatever, and that's basically all. Anything else I should be aware of, or not so much? If you have anything interesting, please drop it in the comments. We're gonna take a look at this today as well. I should have somewhere I have something I would like to show you, because oh man, this is cool. Thank you for the 5 South Arabian. I don't know what kind of currency you have over there, and I'm sorry I cannot read Arabic letters, but thank you very much. That was super nice of you. So that's that. I have something like super cool. Like most probably I have some pictures and the flight footage on probably the biggest and the heaviest and the most expensive INAV build ever. There's nothing as big and as heavy as the thing I would like to show you. I will also show you my new goggles. I got myself new FPV goggles. I sold my DJI goggles V1, and from what I know, they are on their way to Ukraine right now. I think so. I got myself those. I got myself SkyZone SKY03O analog. Why? Because I still have few things of the analog, and it makes, for me, it made absolutely no sense to keep the DJI goggles V1, only to have the rapid fire connected to it with in the external box. That just made absolutely no sense. And if you ask me, using the DJI goggles as the analog, no, this is not really the best way to do analog ever. I used to have SkyZones before I switched to Fat Sharks. And if you ask me, Fat Sharks are where? Because now the company is kind of dead. Fat Sharks were overpriced and overhyped hardware. I had SkyZero-1 and SkyZero-2, and I just love those. Not like my HDos, for example, which they were not really that fantastic at, as you might see. We also going to talk a little about where do I have this thing? There's a build over there I would like to show to you, or actually remind you that I have this thing. And also there will be a small channel update. Because if you noticed, there are a lot of shorts recently on the channel, and I would like you, and I would want to basically to explain to you why there are so many short videos right now on the channel, because this is kind of interesting, and I think I'm going somewhere over there. ArduPilot online courses. Who makes good ArduPilot online courses? Painless360 on YouTube. Go to Painless360. He has quite a lot of the ArduPilot materials, and there's of course ArduPilot Wiki, which more or less explains everything. Not always in the best way possible, but everything is there. Steve E, why not the HDzero goggles? That's actually a pretty simple answer. Why not HDzero goggles? HDzero goggles. How much this thing is? This thing is $600. If I would like to buy those things, I would have to pay VAT and the import tax and everything. So in total, I would have to pay around $800 at least $800. I would of course have the HDzero capability, but I'm not using any HDzero VTX, so why? And now, how much I paid for those goggles? How much they costed me? Bear in mind, I want to use them only for analog and for the Walksnail, because I also have the Walksnail VTX. Receiver. So how much was it? Let's run a poll. Start a poll. $200 add an option $300 $800. So how do you think, how much I paid for those bad boys? The SkyZone SKY03O, which have OLEDs and have everything, including the receiver, much nicer user interface than the Fat Sharks and everything like that. So, how much I paid? I see. I already see that the correct answer is winning. 40%. Okay, nice. We are going somewhere. Yeah, I paid. Really perfect condition. Nothing damaged, nothing broken. No scratches anywhere on the plastic. Yeah, it smells a little from the cigarettes because apparently the previous owner was a smoker. But this thing will like stop smell like cigarettes in no time. And I paid $275 for it. So like a third of the price of the HDzeros. This is not sponsored. I was not sponsored on this by anyone. So come on, why should I? Why should I buy something that's expensive when I can buy something that makes absolutely a lot of sense and it's not that expensive? So as you can imagine, that's the main reason of that. Yes, $275. Absolutely makes sense, at least in my opinion. I sold my DJI V1s for how much I sold the DJI V1s? 350 plus 75 for the Immersion RC Rapid Fire. So I have more money. they have smaller goggles. So as you can see, this is no. I bought those because I found them with the good price. That was the reason. I was looking something below 300 used in Poland, and those were kind of like not the cheapest one, but in general in the nicest condition I could find. So that's why I bought those. I would be complete if I could find like even fat sharks, cheap fat sharks, but HDOs. I would buy them, but fat sharks were more expensive. SKY04 was also more expensive, so I just went with those. And come on! I have like 4 crafts that are still analog capable. One with the possibility to work with the Walksnail. Oh yeah. Walksnail. I'm not sure if everyone noticed, but Cadix sent me the Walksnail. I got those. I got the VRX, and I'm finalizing the review of those things. And you know what? This makes sense. It's not perfect. The full review will go live in a week or so. This is not a perfect digital FPV system because it's not. There are a few things that are at least kind of irritating. Like for example, when you sell goggles and let me maybe switch the camera. When you sell goggles with the box, with the pouch for the goggles, if you do not make the pouch big enough so the goggles fit with the antennas on, then you have no idea what you are doing. You have to unfortunately unscrew the antennas to put the goggles in the pouch. Fan is absurdly loud on this thing. IDP correction is okay, not the most comfortable, but also not the best one. The VTX has some problems, especially the problem with the VTX. I have one over here that this is not the best, not most durable thing ever, and I damaged mine. I damaged mine by plugging the USB cable. I had no idea this is even possible. I even have not used too much of the force, just and the plug was damaged. So that's that. But I was honestly surprised how hassle-free everything was. Absolutely not a problem anywhere. I updated everything to the latest firmware. I flashed the latest firmware for the VTX. I flashed the latest firmware for the goggles and for the receiver. I connected everything and everything was working just out of the box. Like there, no activation, no hustling, not finding the correct versions, correct software to activate anything, no strange artifacts anywhere. OSD worked out of the box with the standard MSP DisplayPort. Everything was just fantastic. And if you ask me, in the goggles, the 25 megabit look much better than 25 megabit on the DJI, on the 720p, not the 1080, but even on the 720. There is not really that much. The 50 megabit. Yeah, okay, they are similar, but 25 megabit really looks amazing on this thing. So you can easily fly on the 25 megabit and be super happy. Yes, there is a difference with the onboard recording from the VTX. There's really not a comparison. What DJI O3 Air unit records, it's just much better quality that won the Avatar records. But yeah. Come on, I don't need that. So, first digital FPV system. Come on, this is it. This is really like the thing. So absolutely, yeah. I know that there is a problem with analog. Yeah, okay. Yes, you cannot connect analog to this thing. Okay, but you can get yourself analog goggles. Put this analog VRX for the Walksnail. And you have both analog and the digital, and everything seems to be working. Not perfect. I'm not saying this is perfect, but if I would be starting right now my FPV adventure and would like to go to the digital FPV, Walksnail would win. Walksnail would win with the DJI for sure. Not because it's just simpler and better and easier to start with the Walksnail, and you have more open everything, and really like looks super great. So that's the thing. Fat Shark Dominator have larger box. Okay. Okay, that's the thing. Oh, MC Creations, hello mate. It was a while. So, but okay, we are here for a reason, and the reason we are here is that we have the INAV to release. We have the INAV to release, and we will be releasing INAV 6.1 because INAV 6.1 is so fantastic. I have already more or less prepared the release, more or less. I have uploaded all the hexes, so they are there, as you can see, obviously. I have not yet prepared the release notes, so we will just take this time and we will prepare the release notes. And I'm not sure if we're gonna release the configurator today. There were nothing really like super major with the configurator, only some changes, but they were. Signal issues, MC Creations. Yeah, I had a signal loss. I flew into the trees on 200 milliwatts and I was like, no, out. Okay, that was irritating, but after flying like on the field when I'm flying, like, who cares? Who gives? So that was. Robert Rosser, Cool Cat, hello. So, but like I said, we kind of have to start releasing the INAV. So you might now observe how we do release notes in INAV Word. And we do them in a very, very, very simple way because we do them almost automatically. We have a template that is called the change list. And GitHub has the option to make some of the things almost automatic. So after getting rid of the new items section, change settings CLI, because we won't be doing this thing at all, then it's only about pushing the other changes. Yeah, we can leave the changes automated. Disarm on by default. We're gonna get rid of this. Stop navigation modes. We're gonna get rid. Increase the WP distance. Enhance programming. MSP display port. And extra arming safety off. Return to home trackback. Important changes. So we're gonna have the important changes because there is one important change that kinda makes sense. Updating from INAV 5 and INAV 5.1. Updating from... Okay, so let's start writing information how to update. Updating from INAV 6. Okay. There were no changes, so basically you can just update the div, full chip erase, upload the font, go to the CLI, INAV things, losing restore the configuration from the div file. That's all. Absolutely no changes over here, so that was fantastic. This is a draft and won't be seen, blah blah blah. Important changes. So now the magic. The GitLab has something like generate release notes. You just hold the button and voila! It makes you the very simple release notes for the thing. We had some new targets. So let's specify the targets that we added to the release. There were a few and we might get more. I'm not showing you what I have, but I have the interesting flight controller from the Holibro. I got the samples some time ago. Okay. Stars IT32. And there should be one more. SkyStars H743. Why there is no SkyStars? Ah, okay. SkyStars H743. So that's that. Important changes. Important change number 1 is the H7 stability. INAV 6.1 fixes a bug that was causing the H7 MCUs to stop receiving RX signal after a prom save operation was performed. This happened from CMS and from configurator. INAV 6.1 fixes the issue and RX operation is no longer stopped after the save operation. That was kind of important and kind of irritating feature. So what else? H7 stability and Betaflight HD OSD compatibility mode. INAV 6.1 adds the how it's exactly called. Let me find the name. Okay, so we will have to find the name from the pull request, but this should be relatively simple. The name is BFHD Compat. That's the BFHD Compat OSD mode that is compatible with the Betaflight HD OSD layout. Okay, so that's that. Any important change? Other important changes? No, I don't think so. We can always improve the release notes later. So should I push the button? How do you think? Should I push the button? I think so, because it... yes, yes, you are correct. So I think we will have to release the INAV configurator after all. We can give it a while. However, this should not be an issue. Yes, I know I should have prepared this earlier, but I kind of came back home like an hour ago and really had no time to do it. Yeah, so Mr. D and yes, Darren, we will kind of probably have to release the configurator, but the firmware done. Firmware is released, and now we can go to prepare. Everything is merged, right, Darren? I saw that everything is merged, so there should be no problem with that, right? And because there should be no problem with that, then fantastic. CD documents, projects, INAV configurator, git status, git checkout, git checkout, release 6.1.0, fantastic. Let me quickly launch the VS Code. to prepare to make some minor changes, because we will have to increase the INAV configurator, because we'll have to bump the version, I think, because I don't think that version has been bumped at the moment. So no, we have 6.1, but we're gonna call this RC1. And in the package 6.0 RC1, so that should be this. All merged, because yeah, I have enjoyed little button pushing. That was kind of unexpected. Unfortunately, building and releasing the INAV configurator is kind of the longer process, because let's start with stop. No, so it will be installer. Let's run this thing with the installer, and while the configurator is building, and later I will talk with RStack to build the configurator for Mac. Because unfortunately I cannot build the configurator for Mac. I do have Mac, but I do not have I'm not paying Apple. So I cannot sign the configurator. But you kind of should see where this is going to. It should be quite nice and relaxed process. So let's pull this thing and let's draft the new release. INAV configurator. Configurator 6.1 RC1. I have to copy paste. That's always a problem. You have to copy paste. So now that I have copy pasted, let me release 6.1, choose attack 6.1.0 RC1. Let's clean everything up. And what changed? So this is what changed. INAV 6 or 6.1. And generate release notes. Release notes should be not too many. That's a little. That's really not too much. So if this is done, then I think it's time to start uploading the hexes. I'm lazy. I should have done it probably like yesterday, but I got a new game. And I'm kind of wasting maybe slightly too much of the time playing the game. I started playing Cities Skyline, like good old SimCity, and come on, this is fantastic. It looks like that my basically my both kids are looking at me playing Cities Skyline on my Xbox. And super funny. Not really, but you know where I'm going with that. What happened? Because here. And now let's build the Win32. Fantastic. It's gonna take only a moment. No, Darren, no, at least one. Yeah, you know, one. Let's be professionals. There are always new bugs. Always, like always. So let's be professionals and let's have at least one release candidate before going live with INAV 6.1, because you know it's worth it. And yeah, and what's gonna happen next? And next, there will be most probably a break until end of the year. We do not have anything else currently planned for INAV, so the next releases, most INAV 7 will happen most probably end of the year. Maybe there will be something super important that will force us to release, I don't know, INAV 6.2. But if not, then Linux 32, let's build Linux 32 and let's build Linux 64 without installers, because I cannot build installers, but that should us put in a place that, yeah, you know. Jedi Survivor. You know what? I'm not really recently a fan of the Star Wars. I have the Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. Oh, there's a Jedi Fallen Order. Oh, I wanna play the Jedi. I wanna swing my lightsaber and do fancy stuff. After like finishing prologue and getting stuck on the first level, I decided, no, this is not the game I really want to play, and maybe something else will make me happier than playing Jedi. Because let's be honest, Star Wars kinda ended some time ago. And what we have right now, what is offered to us by the Disney company, no. So Van Laser, you say? Maybe, I don't know. Now I'm building cities on my Xbox. Yes, Riot, yes, Windows have Tablet Explored now. Yes, you can have tabs in the Explorer. Finally, after so many years, we have tabs in the Explorer. Who would have thought that this is possible? Me? What? Windows is just an amazing piece of the software. No, really, I love Windows. It's great. By the way, I heard somewhere that with the latest firmware on the goggles, you do not have to use the Betaflight compatibility mode with INAV. But I have no proof of that because I had no time to update everything yet. But there's a rumor that with the latest firmware, you just use standard OSD layout and it works. I don't know. I will have to check that. But Marcelo says it's not true. So yeah. And absolutely, WSL makes Windows usable. 100% agree. Like, Linux and Windows is a perfect combination. Everything works just fine. So that's that. Okay, so not true. Interesting fact, I was in contact with the DJI in the beginning of the year, but then kind of like everything broke. I have no idea what's going on there. After you made the, Marcelo, after you made the Betaflight compatibility mode, they kind of like, okay, it's working, we don't care anymore. So like, so something like that, and this is where. Okay, so the INAV configurator is uploading. So I don't think that it makes sense for us to observe how the progress bar is going up. So I want to show you something. And this is, oh man, this is fantastic. This is outstanding. This is great. There is a company in Australia, Heliguy, and they are building like drones. And no, they are the cinematic company, and they are basically making. They can be hired for take aerial shots of anything you want. They are cooperating with Marvel, for example. They were shooting something for the Mad Max, the latest Mad Max. I don't remember the name of the latest Mad Max. Some commercials. Every time like you want something flying somewhere, then you can do it. They are of course using the commercial drones. They are flying with stuff that has ArduPilot. They are flying with stuff that has DJI, and they are flying also with something like this. Just look at this thing. This is, they call it Tetra. The Tetra is huge, as you can see. The Tetra is huge. It's an Octa, of course, Octa X. This is how it looks together with the gimbal. As you can see, there is a massive gimbal on top of this beast, like a 15 kilograms of lift. That's something. I think it has 12-inch props. So as you can see, it's massive. Just look at the size of those batteries over here. This is how it looks like when it's flying. It can do pretty interesting stuff in the air. Look. Whee! It can do flips and rolls. Like, whee! Whee! As you can see, it can do flips and rolls. And the best thing, running INAV. Yeah, so as you can see, there are some companies that kind of decided that INAV is kind of trustworthy. And yeah, this thing is huge. This thing is huge, but when you put a few dozen thousand dollars camera on this thing, you kind of want to have something, you know, that can that has some safety limits here and there. This is probably the biggest and the heaviest INAV machine out there, at least a commercial one. That is doing some interesting stuff. Let me click. I will not show you my messenger because I don't want to show you my messenger, because why should I show you my messenger and the private conversation with someone? But this machine was used to what was that? Let me quickly find this thing. This monstrosity was built especially for the Mad Max Furiosa. Mad Max Furiosa is not out yet, so when the Mad Max Furiosa is out, Mad Max Furiosa. So Mad Max Furiosa, it should go out next year, in the year 2024. So when you will watch Mad Max Furiosa in a year, some of the aerial footage will be shot with INAV. If you saw, by the way, also if you saw the Thor: Love and Thunder film was okay. Also, INAV was shooting some stuff in this video. So yeah, as you can see, stuff is happening. So that's that, and there is. Bigger battle, mini, money, mo, and flower. You're the chosen one. Playing the music. Okay. And I think that the hexes are uploaded now. I think something got broken in the process because... Oh no, this is not this one. This is this one. Okay, no, it's not uploaded yet. We have only like one of the Linux uploaded. So as you can see, that was interesting. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts about that? Because I'm like, wow. And I don't even want to know. I kind of know, but I don't really want to know. Yeah, but I do want to know what kind of crazy contraptions Ukrainians are building with INAV and are sending east. There are some videos here and there that, of course, nobody like showed what's there. Of course, there's beta flight in use, like those attacks on the tanks. This is beta flight. There was a series of the videos about some reconnaissance airplanes, and they were like shaking to launch. So, and because only INAV has this thing, so guess what? I really would like to see some of the contraptions that they built over there and they are actively using during that war. Because I really would like to know how far this thing can go. But still, if you ask me to help you to weaponize your drone, I will answer that no. But I would like to know what's going on down there. So, what else, guys? Okay. Let me. That was done. Going back to my new goggles. I would not mind if they were in a slightly different color, but when you pay as little as I paid for those goggles, where I don't think that you can really like be too critical about this, because for the price. And don't get me wrong, they fit perfectly. Most probably, at least for my shape of the face, those are the most comfortable goggles I ever used. Much more comfortable than the Fatshar's HDOs and HDOs 2 as I had before. And also anything from the DJI, it's like uncomparable. The biggest problem with the DJI goggles 2, those thingies, is that they are absolutely not compatible with my face. It's not that it's not super uncomfortable, but it's also not very comfortable, and my eyes are almost in the lenses. I cannot really sharply see the lowest line on the OSD. I got some extra foamy thingies for this thing, so it's slightly further away from my face. Maybe it helped a little. I added some foam between the faceplate and the goggles on the nose area to move it slightly further away from my face as well. Not really helped that much. Why DJI decided to make so uncomfortable goggles, I don't know. Maybe it's only my face. I have a huge face. I have a huge head, and this is not a joke. When I'm shopping for a hat or a cap or whatever, it's always have to be like the biggest size ever. Like it's not even XL, it's XXL. Maybe it's just that I'm not comfortable. But for example, the DJI goggles, FPV goggles V1 and V2 were okay. Only this small thing is something of the strange size. So that's that. But for life, does 6.1 fix the DJI HD OSD? Yes. Yes, it does. There is the Betaflight HD compatibility mode, which basically pretends it's Betaflight in the HD mode, and you can use it. Too bad DJI have not decided to like do it in the right way. But look at this. My kids love recently playing with one kid. Second one is a teenager. That kind of complicates stuff with this teeny tiny RC car. But that's not something I wanted to show you. I have some prototypes of another. I will not show you who made the prototypes because why should I? So that there are no markings. There are okay. We have markings over here. We have markings over here. Another wing type flight controller by one of the well-known companies that are making the flight controllers. Those are the prototypes of the H7. So it has the H743, kind of biggish power distribution board. Also this sandwich type with 2 layers. The final version will most probably not look like this, but will have a different PCB and maybe slightly different layout. But I think that the appearance of more and more of this shape of the flight controllers means that companies finally started to realize that RC flyers, the airplane pilots, are also we are also the market. And the drone pilots, 5-inchers, are not the only ones that are willing to pay for a good quality flight controller that offers everything, is nicely built, and in general is a good thing to have. So that's interesting. I will be working on this probably next week or only. Not this, but you know, and that does it. Okay, you know what? I think there was a. I don't know if you remember, but this live stream started as the Q&A. That means that you ask questions, I answer. And for the first year or so, that was really a Q&A. And I was answering a lot of questions from different people. And some time ago, it kind of stopped being Q&A. So if you have any questions you would like me to answer, then please write them in the chat. I can even add the start a Q&A. Say something. Any RC and FPV question? What the hell? Interesting. This is the first time I'm using a function in the live stream on the YouTube that is called questions. And if you ask me, I have no bloody idea how to use it. I have no idea what happened. I created a Q&A section and now I don't know what to do. Do you see anything on your side? You can type anything? You can do something with it? How this thing is working? How this thing works? Bloody hell. Darren. That's... I personally prefer pads. I prefer pads without the pin solder. That's my way. But I know that there is a kind of big community of the pilots who prefer connectors. And really, like, honestly, a lot of pilots prefer connectors because for them it's just more convenient way to connect stuff. I don't know why. This is, well, I understand it. Some people just don't like to solder stuff left and right, so maybe that's that. This one I have over here doesn't have any connectors. No, it has some connectors, and I got no wires, by the way. Also, okay, you saw the name. Oh, maybe not. Looks like a standard GPS port. So, but like I said, this is the prototype. The layout will change. Like, I will show you something. I will show you something. I will start the top camera because I want to show you that what does it mean that something is the prototype. Renat Zabirov. The faults are usually fine. I never really tuned my navigation bits, maybe besides sometimes boosting the P, because none of my quads have any problems on that. I know that maybe I never met a quad that really had any problems on defaults. But that's a different story. But okay, I wanted to show you something. On one of the streams, I think I show you this thing. This is the Marcelo, you have the same thing. This is the prototype I got from the SpeedyBee for the SpeedyBee F405 wing. And when I got this thing, I was kind of expecting, yeah, okay, prototype, but this looks like a ready product. There will be no major changes to the design, and this is how the flight controller gonna look like at the end. Because that kinda made sense. Why to change something that is there? So this is the board I got. Yes, as you can see, the middle layer is a blue. This one is black, but in general, the quality is kinda good. Maybe to improve stencils here and there, but looks like a ready-made product. And this is the product I use to build the INAV target for the SpeedyBee F405 wing flight controller. Then SpeedyBee sent me the final production unit. That I made a video on the channel short, and this is what I got. As you can see, completely, maybe not completely, but visually different board. All the three components are right now in the black. I know that layout of some of the elements changed, like those ears mounting points for the flight controller are completely gone. We have completely different stencil on the back. We have a slightly different. You have the different stencil over here, although the pads are in the same position. But I checked this, and for example, even the middle board is slightly different between the production and the prototype. So the fact that something looks like this, which this looks like a prototype, it doesn't mean that the ready-made product will look the same, because why should it? A prototype is a prototype, and the function in the prototype is I don't think it's even a pre-production sample, because pre-production sample is something that is made from the production stencil. Just before you start the fab and order a few thousand of the units, you just run a few dozen to check if everything is working. This was a prototype. Yeah, this looks very similar, but it's not the same. The blue middle board is also kind of like, this is definitely not the pre-production sample. So that's that. The fact that something looks like this in the prototype phase means absolutely nothing. I have a box. I was telling you about, at least for a few times, with different stuff, including some kind of interesting prototypes, and I was saying for a very long time that I'm gonna make a video on what's in the box. And you know what? I think it's time. We have half an hour until end of the stream, and the Linux. Okay, I still have to upload one Linux 32. Why there is no Linux 32? What the hell happened over here? Let me... Okay, my bad. Because we forgot to upload this thing. And I think, let me get my box. We're gonna see what's inside of the box. Okay, that's the box I used to keep half of my stash of the different flight controllers. And usually the legacy stuff is held over here, because usually not the legacy stuff, modern crap is in this box. I will have to sell that. But this is the box that holds the legacy crap, or actually the crap that is slightly more specific, especially this section over here, which holds different generations of different flight controllers. And so let's begin with this thing. This is the board that Matek was trying to put to the market. No, they put this to the market a few years ago. And this is the combination of the GPS and the flight controller on the one teeny tiny board. Originally designed for the Ardu pilot, but it also was usable with INAV. On top, you get the u-blox M9 GPS. At the time, the best u-blox out there, and on the bottom, on the downside of the flight controller over there, you get the F405. You can connect this thing to the flight controller. This can work as the flight controller. However, most probably it's not really makes sense, and it was mostly designed to be used as the CAN peripheral. And they say that you can perfectly run the Ardu pilot on this thing and everything will work just fine. I never did, but you could. So GPS and flight controller from Matek in one small teeny tiny package. Interesting. Then CC3D. I still have one CC3D. CC3D, if you do not remember what CC3D, it's the F1 flight controller, originally designed and originally designed for the Open Pilot project. And if you were starting to fly in something like 2015, then most probably Open Pilot was really a thing. But back then it was still a thing. Then it stopped being a thing, but in 2015, 2014, that was absolutely a thing. It was F1 based, so not really much of the computational power. But back then, you could either use it with the Open Pilot, or you could flash it with Clean Flight, for example, or the base flight, and be happy little bastard with the CC3D. Interesting design with some of the problems, like the USB driver was crappy, flashing of this thing was also kinda irritating, but nevertheless, you see, this is revision C. We have to remove this thing. Revision C, CC3D flight controller. Come on. I'm so happy we no longer have to use CC3Ds. Not enough CC3Ds. Enough. I really do have to say enough. This thing had one or two usable serial ports. Back then, still the PPM was really a thing. Okay, no, I'm not opening this thing anymore because it's kind of stuck. I don't think we have time for the scrap. So let's just forget that the CC3D ever existed, but it was the time of the NASA, so you know, Open Pilot also had something. This is the predecessor of the Revo board, and at the time it was extremely popular because at the time, comparing to what, for example, MultiWii offered, it was not even comparable. I really do regret that the project called the Open Pilot, then the Libre Pilot, and finally the Ronin ended as it ended, because right now, who remembers about the Open Pilot? Most probably nobody. What do we have over here? Okay, I think this is the Flip 32, the clone of the NASA board. Also F1, this thing has 2 serial ports, and this thing has the I2C broken out. And if you really want to, you could fly this thing even with the GPS and magnetometer connected, barometer connected, but most probably not with the serial receiver, because with only 2 serial ports, it was always super complicated to have anything. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is something that's just fantastic. QQ Super. This is a QQ Super. I never use this. This is standard QQ. This is the flight controller with own firmware. And what's super interesting about this thing, that of course this has the PWM inputs and the S-bus inputs. You can connect the S-bus to one of the pins out there. This thing has the leveling, I think. Yes, this thing has the leveling, but there is no user interface. If you want to tune this thing, you basically, your only options is to use this small potentiometer over here. You just turn the potentiometer left and right, and this increases or lowers the gains on the PID controller. So you can tune your craft according to your needs. I never used this thing because I just like got it, tried to set it up, failed miserably, and went with something different. So that's that. What's here? Okay, I think that's a clone of the SP Racing F3. We kind of like skip the generation or two. So of course this is a clone. This is the cheap copy of the SP Racing F3, the flight controllers made by Hydra, Dominic Clifton, a guy who forked base flight to create clean flight. Okay, let's call it like that. I never got any original. I always got cheap knockoffs from China. Those cheap knockoffs were only flight controllers in which I burned the MCUs. In 2 boards, I burned 2 MCUs. Then I bought some MCUs, STM32 F3s from China, and my friend was just replacing the MCUs for me. Come on. This multicopterpilot.com. I have no bloody idea what it is. Absolutely no idea what this thing might be. Besides that, it says multicopterpilot.com and seems to have STM32 F1 on board. I have no idea how to connect things to this thing. It has the gyro on the bottom and like complete surprise. What's that? No bloody idea. This CL Racing F4R. Anybody knows if CL Racing is still a thing? Are they still making flight controllers? I got this as I'm not sure if prototype or just the board from the CL Racing, but I wanted to use it on one of my builds, but I destroyed the board while trying to depin the controller, because it came with the pins soldered in. I tried to desolder this thing, and a few outputs just died. So CL Racing F4R. Now I have it in my box and no idea what to do with this crap from the box. Oh, this is interesting. This is something cool. There are no markings on this thing. There are no markings on this thing, but this thing is the flight controller called the SNL, SLN, something like that. That's completely 100% Chinese design that has the graphical OSD and the F4 MCU. And you were supposed to set up everything with the OSD. There is no configurator of any kind. You just connect your analog VTX to it, and with the movement of the stick, you set up everything. I tried. Well, I got this thing from China. I tried to set it up. This is SNLTS V4 Lefay RC, whatever. I got this a few years ago, tried to set it up, but gave up because there was no manual and I was not able to find the information on how to wire everything to it. And after like trying for a few hours and watching few videos from guys on the internet, I decided screw it. No, this is not really worth my time. I'm not doing that anymore. They don't want me to use it and I will not be using it. But on paper, it kinda really had some interesting features. Of course, this was designed for airplanes, not really for the multi-rotors, but for the airplanes. And on paper, kinda looked kinda interesting. So, how do you like my box? Mini Illuminati F1. You say this thing? Could be. I have bloody no idea. What's that? Something from iFlight. Apparently something from iFlight. No idea what this is. Oh, something's HDLRC. Zeus F7. Okay. Not really interesting. Ready to Sky. Ready to Sky. And inside of the box we have... Oh! SP Racing F3. It's another clone of the SP Racing F3. I got this when my friend decided that, no, I'm not building my first drone. And just gave basically everything to me. Never used another clone of the SP Racing F3 with all the wires and the plastic box over there. Never really used, so might be worth something. Not really probably much, but might be worth something. What's here? Something from Flywoo. What do I have from Flywoo? This is the Hexa. 16 by 16 F405 Nano Goku series. Okay. Teeny. That's for sure. And it's all in one. But that's a different thing. Something from Mamba, but this is not really that legacy stuff. Oh, what's that? F405 WNM? I think that's F405 WNM. Oh, we are going into the uncharted territory. As you can see, this thing is not even removed from the plastic thingy, and this is exactly the same thing. This is something that most probably caused FreeSky stopped replying my messages and kinda got angry with me. Because I got those flight controllers from FreeSky as the prototypes of their Wing series. And but nobody told me that they will send me something. No, I just got them. Like, they just popped up in the mail. And I made a video on the channel showing the prototypes. They saw the video and they never wanted me to make the video about that. And they were very, 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 very angry with me. But whatever, that's your problem. Beefy prototypes. Those are really a beefy prototypes of, I think, F4 or H7. F7. Am I blind? F745, I think, or F765, where on top over here, there should be a third box with the RX. Integrated R9. You just put the R9 on top of that, connect this with this connector over here, and you have the full package. The power distribution board, the flight controller, including the FrSky graphical OSD. You see, over here we have the FrSky graphical OSD. And that's that. Interesting prototypes. I got two. One never removed from the bag. Probably not really operational, not really useful to anything, but it's a piece of history. It's a piece of history. Maybe I should write a book about the flight controllers I do. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, here we have some wires. Oh, this is amazing. This is Quark. Two blokes from Great Britain a few years ago decided to make their own flight controllers. They were not really selling them. I got one because they liked me. I don't know. Quark F4 Vision. A lot of kind of interesting ideas. There might be even a video of me doing material about this flight controller on the channel yet. They have very interesting ideas about how the power distribution should work, how to power the servos, about the separate rail for the servos. This thing was flying in one of my wings a few years ago, but after that I just like put this somewhere. The board, I think, it was made on the OSH Park. Because like they are just a few blokes, a bloke with the soldering iron. Let's call it like that. That was not really a company that was making anything, but the board itself was very, very interesting. For sure, too bad nothing like worked out of this thing. What there? 2016. I think it's some kind of the converter. I think might be converting S-bus to PWM. No idea. What's that? Another clone of the SP Racing F3. This time called SKY03O. No idea from where I got it. Everything with those connectors, very bad design. Only connectors is really like very bad design. Yes, you can have connectors for some things, but if you have to connect motors with those connectors, that's absolute garbage. And please rethink your approach to life. Betaflight F722. I think this is the one with the broken gyro. I had one with the broken gyro. It was going nuts. I think that's nothing really super interesting. What's that? Oh, I remember those. One of the first STM F4s available on the market. Those were Flip 32 F4 or the Airbot F4. This was before the OSD really became a thing, and was running perfectly. Clean flight, Betaflight, INAV. You can flash ArduPilot with this. You have the slot for the SD card. This is, I think, even one of the further generations. Or this is oh no, this is Omnibus F4. No, man, I still have Omnibus F4. But this is one of the latest generations of the Omnibus F4 because it doesn't have the LDOs. The later versions had the step downs, but the first versions just had the LDOs, like LM7805 slapped into this thing, which was overheating like crazy when you try to use this on 4S. On 3S it was fine, but on the 4S it was overheating. The whole board was like hot, toasty hot when you tried to use this thing. Oh, another interesting flight controller. This is the NFC F7. One of the first F7s. Strange design. Because at one hand has like shitload of outputs, it even has the SPI broken out. It's the F7 and not like some small F7. Look at the size of this MCU. But doesn't work with buzzer, does not have the OSD installed. Like the mapping of the output is like guessing what goes where was a huge nightmare. I was using this for like a few months on one of my builds and then like threw it into the bin because that was going absolutely nowhere. This, no idea what this is. I have two of those. And both have no gyro. This is what I know. This might be... There are no markings on this thing. I know that one is F4, one is F7. Some elements are missing over here. This doesn't have gyro installed. Has the OSD, surprise, surprise. I might have the gyro for this thing somewhere, but no really idea where and what it does. So no bloody idea what this is and how to use it even. Here we have Icon F4, flight controller. Nothing really to say about the flight controller. Oh, this is what I was talking about. This is one of those first Flip 32 F4. F4, no SD. And on the bottom side, you have the LM705 just slapped into it. Works okay on 3S, on 4S starts to overheat. Because, well, LM7805 is not really designed for this kind of the usage. This. One more time, LM7805. And besides that, I have no idea what this is. Looks like Omnibus F4. Looks like the same layout as the Omnibus F4. But is it Omnibus F4? Who knows? Maybe. I would not be surprised. One more time, analog voltage stabilization. Omnibus F3 Mini. I think this was the name. Interesting choice of the how to install the SD card. Because you can with this strand slot over here. On the other hand, it has the shunt, so it can measure current. It has the integrated power distribution. Kind of interesting idea, but one more time, LM708 overheats. This thing, I had it on the boat and the boat sank, so it kind of like, I'm not sure if it's even working. One more time, NFC F7 Pro. Different version of the board I showed it some time ago. Interesting, but broken on so many levels that nobody was using this thing. And look, NASA 32. No, this is not NASA 32. That was Flip F1. Yes? I forgot how it was the name. Basically the same crap as the NASA 32. But no name. Oh, M return to flight. So that's that. So that was my box. That was my box of various legacy flight controllers that I accumulated over the years. No idea what to do with those. Probably none of them will ever fly again, will have any use. Maybe like something will donate some electronics to something else, but I really honestly doubt it. Maybe besides this one, because this one kinda is in a good shape. As you can see, many different manufacturers of the flight controllers had crazy ideas on what to do, how to appeal to the customers. Were trying different approaches on the same thing. And if anybody thinks that, well, world ends on the beta flight, then, well, not really. This box is the best proof that over the years, the number of the concepts, of the ideas on what's the flight controller, how the flight controller should work, and what kind of accessories you put in the flight controller was evolving like constantly. Like the idea of, I don't know, having the linear voltage stabilizer on board. So it was absolutely a thing a few years ago. Only after people started using this thing with 4S and those things started just to overheat incredibly. So I don't think that was Racerstar. That was no idea what that was. Those were prototypes. I got them from Digital Entity, and he got them from someone else. Don't ask me like what they might be for, because I have no bloody idea what they might be for. Okay, but you know what? I think that INAV configurator 6.1 RC1 is almost ready. INAV firmware 6.1. Okay. Okay, so congratulations. Congratulations, the INAV configurator 6.1 RC1 is live. Darren, you might write a message. Be my guest, Darren, if you are still here, man. So that's that. Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you one more time after a month of the break since the previous live stream. I think that maybe not this week, but maybe after that there will be a build stream because there are some things I would like to push. And running a build stream is a motivation for me to build something. This next weekend I'm going to Hamburg. I will be like saying moin to people. So no live stream for sure next week. The Racerstar, they were only a brand. Racerstar was, I think, really like either Banggood. I think they were Banggood company, and they went through. I really do think that they went out of business. On the other hand, is Banggood still a thing? Okay, Racerstar still has the web page. Yeah, but there is nothing on the web page. So yeah, we have to assume that the Racerstar is dead. But look, 2023. So the star of speed. Propellers, but the web page is absolutely non-navigable, so no idea. Not the affiliates. I have nothing on the affiliate there because affiliate marketing on Banggood died years ago. Banggood is still here. I have no idea when was the last time I ordered anything from Banggood. Let me check. The last time I ordered something from Banggood was... okay, no, it was not that bad because this is what they sent me. Banggood sent me the Runcam Thumb Pro in August last year. And previously I got something in the beginning of 2022 as well. So I, for example, stopped shopping on Banggood completely because it makes no sense to shop on Banggood. I think so. But let's say SkyZone SKY03O. SkyZone. SkyZone. Yeah, you can order, but will you get it? You never know. People are still complaining. I hear on the regular basis that people are still complaining that shopping from Banggood does not really work all the time. So no idea. Zeno ERWT, not really that much. Well, yeah, we discussed what's on the INAV 6.1, but the reality that not really that much. There are a few improvements, especially for the H7 users, for the DJI, those thing users. There is support for the 8032 flight controller and some other changes. Nothing really like groundbreaking in terms of the functionalities, but quite a few of the interesting things here and there. Okay, Van Laser, maybe I should take a look. On the other hand, I almost exclusively switched to the Aliexpress. They have everything on the Aliexpress, and but okay, maybe. On the other hand, I'm almost not buying anything for the RC hobby. I have so much stash and if I really need something, I buy locally. So, but that's a completely different thing. Shipping. No, it depends. No, really, it depends what you buy from the AliExpress. Let me quickly open my. The AliExpress is the platform. It's not a store. It's a platform. Recently, most of the stuff I get from AliExpress, I get it in like 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. So it's not really that bad. So I got this for the goggles too. I got it in like 2.5 weeks. This is still going. The follow focus, I got it in like 3 weeks. This one came in 2 weeks. This one a week. This one also came almost like rapidly, super fast, a week. But it was shipped from Europe, not from China. This one also was very fast and efficient. So it really depends. It really depends from where you buy. Yeah, absolutely. This is a platform. AliExpress is a platform, not a store, unlike Banggood. But more and more, I'm just buying locally from local retailers because it's faster. Let's be honest, it's faster. On the other hand, I'm not really buying that much recently. Kinda. If you have this big of the box of the flight controllers, most probably, no, 2 boxes of the flight controllers, most probably you will never really have to buy another flight controller in your life. So I'm not buying flight controllers because I'm not really building that much. I do not have to buy ESCs. Motors from time to time. So, I'm not buying frames because I'm designing my own frames and I order them milled. So that's a completely different story. FPV components. Okay, I have plenty of Cadix Vistas. I bought them by myself. But, well, yeah. Okay, anyhow, we will be slowly ending because it's like 1 hour, 30 minutes. I suppose it's fully enough. I have a lot of plans for tomorrow because for tomorrow I'm planning to go cycling with my friend and we will be cycling like crazy. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for participating in the event of the release candidate of the INAV 6.1. NDRC. I don't know if NDRC is okay. NDRC. Annie and not Andy. Man, come on. No, it was. Yeah, there was an idea from the YouTube that you can make a Q&A on the live stream, but I think it's a crap. We're gonna never use that thing again because it's a crap. Yes, but NDRC. I wonder how's NDRC. Because last time I heard from the guy he had some personal problems. NDRC. I hope he's okay. Okay, last video 4 months ago, so who knows? I hope he will be back because he was making some unique content if you think about this. Okay, anyhow, thank you very much for watching and like always, happy flying.